often when we're having the conversation about narcissism, we look at it in one particular way. But I'm not talking about just the kind of narcissism that we blame on a toxic ex who just wasn't ready for the relationship, or the social media influencer who treats Instagram like thirst trap Olympics. I'm talking about the kind of narcissism that seems to be baked directly into our cultures, the kind that we reward, we feed it, repost it, and occasionally kneel before it. It shows up in who we idolize and who we platform and what we confuse with being successful. At this point, narcissism isn't just a personality trait, it's a form of social currency. You can see it most clearly when you look at leadership. Politics, especially, has become less about policy and more about the performance. Some of the most successful politicians of our time didn't rise in stature because they were particularly competent or effective, but because they knew how to dominate attention. You can look at our current president, for example. Uh, his rise wasn't powered by any quiet expertise or thoughtful governance. It was built on bravado, his branding, and his endless appetite for having the spotlight. Every tweet or rally or press conference was designed to keep him at the center of all of the conversations. That's textbook narcissism, the craving of attention, dismissing any and all criticism, and then turning charisma into a weapon. And this isn't just an American problem. We see we see it around the world. Leaders use the same playbook. Vladimir Putin, his carefully staged strongman photo ops. Uh, Kim Jong Un has meticulously cultivated cult of personality. These aren't accidents, they're strategies. What makes it dangerous is how often our culture mistakes these traits for strength, when we all need to understand that being loud doesn't mean you're wise. We saw that recently with what's the guy, Clifton Powell. He thought that because he's older and he speaks louder, then that means he knows more than the other young men sitting around the table, and he was proven to be very wrong. We need to understand that arrogant doesn't mean you're capable. But when we confuse ego with leadership, we are essentially rolling out the red carpet for narcissism to sit at the highest level of power. If politics is one arena, then celebrity culture could be another. And it might even be worse because fame doesn't just tolerate the narcissism, it is actively rewarding it. You can see that in all of these talentless, famous people. The Kardashians, their empire was built on relentless self promotion, image control, and them turning their personal lives into a never ending performance. And it worked. They didn't just become famous, they became infamous brands. But behind all of the gloss is a system that prioritizes attention over substance. And this same logic applies to social media celebrities like, uh, what are those guys' name? Jake and Logan Paul. Their rise was not fueled by any groundbreaking talent that they possess so much as their ability to exploit getting attention. Shock became the content, and the content fed the algorithm, and the algorithm fed the fame. That's narcissism, fully optimized and monetized. Even the so called serious celebrities are not immune from it. You get actors and musicians who will carefully curate online personas with perfectly lit photos, polished captions, and they'll even hire entire PR teams whose jobs it is to make them look relatable yet still untouchable. But it's not always malicious. It's survival in an economy that thrives on image. But somewhere along the way, the line between authenticity and performance begin to get so blurry that the mask becomes the face. And before you get too comfortable pointing fingers, social media didn't just create celebrity narcissism. What it did was make this narcissism accessible to the masses. It's accessible to everyone. We have Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn and so on and so forth. All of these social media platforms, they're all stages now. And most of us have become performers, whether we want to cop to it or not. The more polished, curated, or provocative the performance we put on, the more attention we get. Think about how often people will post, but they're not posting to specifically connect to an audience. They just want to be seen. We measure our worth in likes, comments, and shares. We will crop out any of the chaos in our lives. We filter our faces. We spotlight the wins while we quietly archive any of our losses. It's not that people are lying, it's just that we've been trained to present only the most palatable versions of ourselves. That is cultural narcissism on a massive scale. And the irony is brutal. The more that we consume other people's highlight reels, the worse we begin to feel about our own messy, unfiltered lives. We're performing, they're performing, everyone performs, and somehow we all end up feeling inadequate while we're comparing ourselves to all of these carefully curated masks. So, what does all of this cost us? Narcissism might win you the attention, it might get you the followers, it's going to get you the votes and put you in the headlines, but it rarely builds anything that's long lasting. What it does is erode our trust in leadership when charisma is prioritized over competence. It traps celebrities into the prisons of their own image, where showing any type of vulnerability feels like a career risk. And for the rest of us everyday people, it fuels the anxiety, loneliness, and burnout as we chase validation through screens. Narcissism demands admiration without any type of accountability. It thrives on the applause, but it collapses whenever humility or service is required. A culture that keeps rewarding narcissism will always struggle with empathy. It will struggle with connection and making real progress because narcissism feeds ego. It doesn't feed the people, it doesn't feed the community, it doesn't feed the unity. Narcissism also doesn't thrive in a vacuum. Leaders, celebrities, influencers, they only have power because we give it to them. We click on the videos and the posts. We share them. We buy the products that they're advertising. We elect the personalities. And in that
and twist myself at the spine.